Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right. I'm not. My lighting stinks, so forgive me. I'm outside. The only place I can go tonight. It's too loud in the house.
It's all good.
Brandon, what are you doing?
I'm driving home right now.
I'm seeing this weird.
Yeah, it's dark. Hey, there I am.
Oh, I see. Oh, you got
It's
that
that
mode. Okay.
Virtual background. Who's that guy?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think my light better, but it's not gonna work. Nah, I'm not worried about it. Not worried. So we'll get.
It doesn't work too great from an iPhone.
No. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. All right. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, when you set this up, Ed, is there a way to mute everybody from your end?
Like that?
Yeah.
That better? Yeah, you're all muted now. Let's see here, allow participants to unmute themselves. All right, that should be good. So try it, Brandon. I just allowed participants to unmute themselves. See if you can unmute yourself and see if I can hear you. Don't get into an accident either. No, maybe not. Can't hear you. I'll unmute you all for now. All right. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Me, 9. That's fine. Oh, Keen's there? Okay, hold on. That's another one. Hold on. Are you guys good? Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
All right, here's what we'll do is if you guys could all self-mute, it'll be easier because if you want to say something, ask a question or you want to throw it, would be easier for you guys to mute yourselves and then come off mute, and then we'll just, we'll go from there. So, sorry guys if my lighting stinks. I was going to try to do better, but I'm outside. Sorry. And for those of you guys up north, don't hate me. This is why I do this. We live down here in Florida half the year, and it's like 70 degrees right now, and we'll go up to New York in the summertime. So it's all good. So yeah, if you guys could just mute yourselves, that would be helpful. For those of you guys that are shy of going on camera, you shouldn't be shy. Unless you're, in bed or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm not a judge of that stuff. All right. So I guess, I'll just get, oh, wait, hold on. Rich is there. Hold on. I got to keep an eye on this. Rich French, good to see you. Okay. I'll keep an eye on this, I guess. All right, guys, welcome. It's Friday night, and I'm sure you'd rather be doing something else right now. My wife is watching a movie, and I'm not. So I'm giving up some date night time to stay with you guys. But it's all good because, this is important. And, I'm going to kind of shoot from the hip because I believe in just rolling with how this goes. I have some notes and things I want to keep on task with, but this is our third installment of running an accountability group. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Ed Weidman. I'm actually from New York City, and we lived upstate New York. We moved down to Florida 4 years ago this month, and we've had quite the journey, to say the least. My background is in business and marketing and sales, and I've ran a couple businesses and failed, and this is the first one I actually succeeded at, so I'm pretty happy about it. Um, I'm a firm believer that we've got to realize that, without getting too philosophical, we all have seeds of greatness within us, and you've got to realize your potential. Like, I don't care about your past. I care about where you're going. I don't care about your mistakes and all the things you failed at. I care about what can we do to help you from right here, right now, to accomplish the goals you guys have for yourselves, okay? That's all that matters. You can't change the past. You can't, I said it on a video earlier today, you can't drive forward looking in the rearview mirror. So stop looking in the past and stop worrying about what you know, your mistakes and stuff like that. You can't change it, and you shouldn't dwell on it, all right? So, so this is, like I said, our third installment here. Brandon and I got talking about this a little while ago. The feeling was that I have a lot of business experience, and in the last 2 years, I started getting to a place where people were asking a lot of questions about sales, business, and marketing, and Brandon and I just had some synergy there. And I said, hey, you know what? If you provide the technical side and some of the prospecting stuff, I'll fill in the gaps. I'll be the glue as I can to help kind of pull the business side to the table. And it's really worked really well. We started off the first accountability group in January, and it went okay. It wasn't outstanding. Hold on, Charles is there. The first call wasn't, or the first accountability group wasn't outstanding. It was a trial run. It was just kind of feeling things out and seeing what people want, etc. February really is where things took off, and we started finding ways and helping people get results. Because look, let's be honest, and you know, I'm going to speak on behalf of Brandon. Like, you all bought into his program. All right, I'm a student just like you guys. I've gone through this process. It's changed a lot in the last 2 years. I can definitely tell you that. We've had to cut our teeth and figure things out along the way. But I'm just a student, just like a lot of you. And it's been an interesting journey. So the February group really came together well. Everybody was gelling well together, getting along really well, motivating each other, inspiring each other, asking questions, keeping the technical stuff in the main group. And we've seen students start getting results. Like, we all want our clients to rank in the first month, right? Students are actually ranking by closing deals, if you will. So Benson, Connor, Sammy, a bunch of other guys, those are the top three I could think of off the top of my head. They were the most engaged. They were the most active, asking questions. They were not afraid to share their hangups and their frustrations and their weaknesses. So I'm gonna kick this off by saying your success is going to be based on your vulnerability. If you're willing to roll your sleeves up and share and like ask questions and participate, you have a better shot at succeeding. I know there's always people in groups like this. They're going to watch from the sidelines and they're not going to say much. I'm going to encourage all of you to engage, because at the end of the day, like, what are you here for? You've got goals, you've got dreams, you've got ambitions. You want to succeed in business, you want to make money. Like, this is the shortcut that can help you get to where you want to go, all right? We've all seen network marketing deals. We've all seen other opportunities out there. I can vouch for what Brandon's put together. I knew of Brandon before he started this in another group, and I saw him put this together, and it got my attention. And here we are today, and now there's hundreds of students here, and people are making money, and people are succeeding, and they're accomplishing their goals, all right? So, a couple people got kicked off. Hold on a second. So, all right. So let me say this. I shared my story earlier. I feel like it's really important for you guys to know where I came from, because the truth is, where we're at in our business, if you're new, you might think it's hard to relate to us, to me, not because I'm better, but because we've reached a different level in our business. And I want to tell you, like, I know exactly how you feel. You're frustrated, you're shy, you're afraid of talking to people, you don't like cold calling, you're not organized, you don't have a plan of action, you're all over the place, and you need focus, okay? And you're scared and you don't know what to do. Like, if that's what you're thinking, that's where I was. So in a nutshell, like, I've made six figures in my corporate career for many, many years. But I hated corporate America and I wanted to call my own shots. And I was sick and tired of being controlled by somebody else. And I wanted to own my time. We wanted to homeschool our kids on our terms. We wanted to have our schedule the way we wanted it. And it's like, I knew having a job was never going to get me there. Like, if somebody else is writing your paycheck, there's a limit to how much money you can make because they're controlling that. And I hated being controlled. I'm sure many of you guys can relate, right? And I had to start my own business. I'm going to meet you guys for a minute. I had to start my own business and figure things out. So I started out doing web design. I started doing lead generation. I started doing different things, SEO. And it was about 2 years ago where we were making like a couple grand a month, but it wasn't enough to pay the bills. My wife doesn't work. My kids are now 9 and 6. We homeschool them. And like, if you guys saw it this morning, you know, I got to a point where I was pounding my head against the wall. Like, I was calling 40, 50, 60 businesses every day. I was doing audits. I was stopping people in Home Depot parking lots. I was talking to people at the gas station. I was, you know, looking at those placemats with businesses on them and calling, like, anything I could think of, calling my friends. It wasn't working. And we were down to like $18 in our bank account. And I was on the floor, like, crying. I'm like, God, like, I just, not to be all spiritual, but it was like, I love my wife and kids. I started this business to succeed. I can't figure out how to pay the groceries next week. Like, it was hard. It was really, really hard. And it was just the faith walk. And I just, you know, an hour later, I got a phone call from somebody who wanted a website designed, and we had money again, and we'd fall back again, and we had money again, and we'd fall back. And it wasn't until about 6 months later, which was actually August of 2017, where we went from basically 2 grand a month to about 10 to 11 grand a month in our business. Why is that? Because we got consistent, because I was accountable to myself, because we started putting certain things in motion that that were predictable. And like, our business has grown ever since. Have I arrived? No. It's been an amazing effort of hard work and a ton of rejection and getting hung up on and being cursed at, and you name it, man, I've been through it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's where I come from. That's where I was. Where we are today, we had our best month in February. I don't disclose everything we do, but we've had an absolutely amazing run, and our business, we're literally adding 4 to 5 clients. We added 5 clients this past week at $1,000 a month each. So we added 60 grand this past week. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just letting you know we are onto something that's working really, really well. And if I could teach you guys and hold you accountable and help you get the same results, then you could accomplish the same thing in your own life, right? That's the mission of this thing. All right. So that's where I'm coming from. That's where my heart's at, is helping people succeed. I don't want to mess around with this. I want to be that friend that tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, right? Like, I want to be real with you guys. I want to give it to you straight. I may tell you something that you might not like to hear, and you might want to curse me out for it. I'm okay with that, because if it means it helps you get one step further to accomplishing your goals, then I'm doing my job. Okay, Brandon's doing his job. All right, so I'm not pulling any punches. Like, a lot of you guys have families, a lot of you have responsibilities outside of this business, and you want this thing to work so bad. It's like, That's my responsibility. That's where my heart's at. I know Brandon feels the same way. So the goal of this group is for you guys to participate, be accountable. The goal is to engage at the most uncomfortable level possible. Like the more uncomfortable you are, the faster you're going to grow. The more you get out of your own head and stop thinking and just take action, the better off you're going to be, right? There's a book called Magic of Thinking Big. You may have made it by David Schwartz. It was written in the 50s. I highly recommend it. There's 3 failure diseases: excuse-itis, detail-itis, and procrastination. Making excuses. We've all done it. We need to stop doing it. Detail-itis is getting ready to get ready, having your ducks in a row, but ducks never get in a row. Waiting for the stars and moon to align never happens. So that's why I say just execute. You can't just get all detailed. It doesn't work. And then procrastination is like the worst one of all. We're like, I'm just not comfortable. I'm not ready. I don't feel right. I'm nervous. This guy's going to think I'm an idiot. Whatever. Okay. If you can flush those 3 failure diseases, you're going to be in a better place to get results. So my goal here is to make you as uncomfortable as possible and help you take as much action as you can given your time constraints. Some of you have only an hour a day of time. Some of you have a lot more, okay? So it doesn't matter. It's just about being consistent, okay? My expectations outside of being, engaged, I expect you guys to be positive. I expect you to be uplifting. I expect you to be encouraging, supporting other people. There are no bad questions. There's no stupid questions. I don't want you guys comparing yourselves to other people. You don't know what other people's lives and schedules look like. You can't compare what you're doing to somebody else because circumstances are all different, okay? It's really important that we baseline this thing and flush that, because comparing yourself to other people is never going to get you where you want to go, all right? I've struggled with it. I've learned to not do that because I realized you just don't know what they've been through or what they're capable of doing or the connections they have, etc. Okay? So that being said, I'd like Brandon, if you're still there, I don't know if you're there, I'm going to take you guys off mute. I just want to lay the ground rules and kind of let you know where my heart's at. We'll get into the nitty gritty here. I definitely want to do that. But you'll find that the group itself and the engagement interaction in the group is going to be really more valuable in the day-to-day affairs. You know, questions, motivating each other, talking to prospects, getting hung up on how to handle proposals, prospecting. We'll get through all that. So Brandon, I don't know if you're there, but if you could come off mute. Anything you want to share from your perspective? I mean, I have other things I want to talk about, but you're coming.
Yeah, you touched on some of it. Probably one of the big things that I've seen, we get about 4 to 5 new members coming in to join Rank Daddy daily. We also see about 2, sometimes 3 a day leaving. So there's some growth there, but we monitor what happens. The people that are leaving, they'll come in. Obviously, we've set this thing up because I wanted to help more people. For the first, year, it was a $4,000 course. A couple hundred people came in, maybe less than a couple hundred, but it wasn't growing fast enough for me. I wanted to be able to help more people. And so my brain is always working. How can I do this? So I just decided to give everything away. And literally, when you come in for $1, you are getting everything. There's nothing locked. We add you to the mastermind group, the regular Facebook group. But what we've seen is people come in, so they're going to come in. It may not be for them when they come in, but the people that come in and stay for maybe that almost whole month, or even longer, they'll make their next payment. But when they cancel, they've never joined the Facebook group, like 90% of them. So if it comes back to this accountability group, the more you engage and the more that you're active in this group, as well as the other one. The other one's your main group. This is just for your accountability and the techniques and things that Ed is going to lay out. It's going to make you get uncomfortable. But if you, I guarantee you, you follow through and you do these things, your business is, you're going to have such an awesome foundation that you're going to have a clear path to success by the end of this 30 days, if not before. So the course is there. The course is there. It's all the materials there. Somebody could literally come in and download all my videos and have the course, but they got no support. They also can't order anything from SEO Outsource because now it's locked up, limited to only members. So be active, be engaged in both groups, whether you're, just consuming the information, or if you have a question, ask it. I'm in there, Ed's in there, Kevin's in there, but also the guys from the last accountability group, the guys that have been in Ranked Eddie from the beginning, who are in the 10K club, who have landed client after client, and they know the process, and they've run into situations that maybe aren't covered in the training. We run into a lot of little micro questions with, clients with multiple locations or things like that. Every scenario is not going to be in the training. It's not possible. So pop those things in there, but first use that search bar because it may have already been discussed. So that's a big one for me, is just, if you want to be successful and you really know that you can build a digital marketing agency for yourself and have time freedom and financial freedom, be active, be engaged. So that's probably the biggest thing for me.
All right, cool. So look, there's two sides. Like, I launched my own course, Brandon, I talked about it last year, and I did it, and we paid like 50 students, and it was like a trial run just to kind of see, and I learned a lot through it, which was great. What I've realized, there's two sides to the equation. You guys can hear me, right? Brandon, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. There's two sides to the equation, okay? There's learning the technical side of this business, all the SEO stuff. Okay, that's his wheelhouse. He's good at sales and prospecting and all that stuff as well. The other side of the business is the business side. It's the mindset. It's your expectation. It's knowing how to sell or unsell. It's knowing how to present. It's knowing how to properly follow up. It's the psychology of the sale. It's being relentless in the follow-up. It's knowing how to close deals. It's knowing how to get referrals from clients. Like, those are things that there's so many people that learn technical skills, but they never understand the business side of things, and they never succeed, right? So, like, it was just a really natural fit with Brandon and I. Like, he does offer a lot of that, but I do it a little bit different. Our styles are a little bit different. His approach is a little bit different than mine. It doesn't mean that it's wrong or mine's right or vice versa. It just means you have to take your personality, the way you think, the way you react with people, all that kind of stuff. And you got to figure out what works for you. So everything that I'm telling you, I want you to filter it through a brain cell. Okay. Just don't check. I'm going to just do it. I want you to think about the how. I want you to think about the why. Okay. My approach is designed to make you as uncomfortable as possible. And you might hate me for saying it, but it's the truth, because the more I can make you uncomfortable, the faster you're going to get to the point where you're more effective and more efficient in the things you're doing, okay? Some people like doing email. They like doing Facebook messaging. They like doing LinkedIn or text message, and I get it, and I've done it too. My feeling is making calls. And look, do what you want to do. If you don't want to make phone calls, you're going to do more of other things unless you get surgical the way Brandon does it. So all I'm saying is figure out what works best for you. I'm making a recommendation to try it, to pick up the phone. And the reason why is everyone hates making phone calls, okay? Again, you don't have to. Try to do 5 times more of something else to get the same results, all right? So I'm just going to say that I believe that approach will build your self-confidence way faster than anything else, because you're going to get hung up on, you're just going to go through more failure, more negative. And it just makes you tougher, and it just makes that thick skin. And, confidence is what's going to make your business grow. Okay. Knowing how SEO is one piece of it. The currency in business is self-confidence, and you're never going to get it if you try to take the easy way out. So I'm just going to make that recommendation out the gate. Okay. Again, do what you want. It's your business. I want you to fail as much as you possibly can. I want you to fail forward. What I mean by that is I want you to fail, but look at the mistakes you made and then learn from those mistakes and apply what you learned to become better. What a lot of people do is they fail and they keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's insanity, right? So the whole idea is we need to take a lot of action. We need to understand that we're going to fail. That's part of the process. That's normal. Okay. And we just need to learn from what we're doing so we can become more effective and efficient. The more action you take from a psychological standpoint, you're going to be in a place where like, I'm getting pissed off. I'm busting my butt, prospecting to build my business. I expect this thing to grow, man. You start getting mad, and that almost like that, I don't want to say arrogance. It's like this expectation starts to ooze out of you. Like, man, you know what? This thing's working for me. People are they're working. You're not hanging up on me. We're going to talk. Like something starts to shift because you're working your tail off, that there's this confidence that builds, and people sense that confidence. And it's that shift in your confidence through a lot of action that people are like, I don't know what it is about you, but I want to work with you because you're different than these other people. Like you got some backbone to you. You know, you're not just somebody who I could walk all over. You know what I mean? Like that comes with time. When I started this, like I was scared of my own shadow because I never had done sales or building my business in this business. So I had to figure out how to talk and what to say, how to say it, and position conversations in a way that would get people's attention, right? And for me, it's all about being transparent. Like to me, I'm going to freak some of you guys out. I'm just telling you right now. Like the way I do this now is just, I'm basically telling people what they think. Like I'm just getting all the objections out of the way so that we just save time and we just cut to the chase and we get to the root cause of why they're not, moving forward. Okay. So the idea is a ton of action, as much as you could do based on your schedule, and be willing to fail. All the success you want in your life is going to be found outside your comfort zone. If you stay comfortable, you're going to limit your success. Right? I mean, you guys have probably heard that before. It's the truth. You may not like it, but you got to understand what Brandon and I are talking about here. You can have $100,000 a year business in place in the next 3-4 months. Like it's so doable, but you got to be willing to do the work to get to that place. Okay. So that's the first thing. Being willing to take a ton of action. There's only 2 things you can control in your life: your attitude and your actions. That's it. Everything else is out of your control. You can choose every morning to get up and have a crappy attitude, because that's typically what a lot of people might do. Or you can choose to get up and say, you know what? I'm alive. I'm blessed. I live in the United States. Or maybe you don't. It's okay. I have a roof over my head, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's about shifting your perspective away from what you don't have to what you do have. All right. Like this is so important. Like I come out here on my lanai, and I get out every morning and I'm like thankful for my business. I'm thankful for this group. I'm thankful for Brandon coming to my life the way it worked out. Thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for whatever. Okay. That thankfulness gets me started with a positive attitude. Everybody starts off with a negative attitude, typically. Okay. Some people are just weirdos and they're naturally positive. It's just, most people are just not. But the point is, you got to be proactive and control your attitude. Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. He wrote another one called Master Key to Riches. Those 2 books changed my life. I read those books over 3, 4, 5 times each. If you don't have them, they're like $6, $7 on Amazon. I would go get them and read them. And they're going to be hard to read because they were written like 120 years ago. And the way he wrote it was just not the way we talk today. But the point is, your attitude is everything. The second piece of it is your actions. The amount of activity you take, what you do, is completely controlled based on you. All of you guys pretty much responded to the Google sheet I put out there. I could pretty much tell that everybody has 1 to 10 hours a day to commit to their business. I'm recommending, from a prospecting standpoint, 1 hour a day. That's it. I don't want you doing more than that if you don't have to, okay? because I believe that you could be, if you're consistent in your activity, you'll get the results you're looking to get. All right. See, here's the thing. What a lot of people do is, oh, I'm going to go email, 100 people a day. Good luck with that, bro. You're going to burn out in a week and you're going to quit. Okay. Somebody else says, I'm going to call 30, 40 businesses, every single day. Good luck, buddy. You're going to quit in probably a week. Okay. What I want you guys to do is I want you to create a consistent amount of effort that you can stick to every single day that does not burn you out, that you can maintain for 30, 60, 90 days. Okay. That's the whole objective behind all this, is to maintain a level of consistency that gives your business a chance to grow. If you think about it this way, if you've ever paddled on a surfboard, if you haven't, you've seen people do it, you've got to paddle fiercely for a period of time before you can catch the wave, right? What you're doing is you're paddling profusely for a period of time, but once you catch that wave, you've built enough momentum where you don't have to work as hard to keep riding the wave. It's the consistent activity over the next 30, 60, 90 days that allows you to build momentum in your business where the activity level can drop off a bit and you can just maintain something that doesn't burn you out long term, okay? Really, really important. Most people do way too much activity and they burn themselves out. Now, here's the thing. If you could do more without burning yourself out, I'm fine with that. But I just feel like it's better to maintain a certain amount of activity that's not going to get you burned out, all right? So your attitude, your actions, living outside of your comfort zone is everything. The other thing I want to talk about, we've talked about this, I've talked about this on other calls, is about setting SMART goals. I'm going to share a document in here real quick after this, talking about setting specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals. What does that mean? It means you set a goal to say, I want to make 100K, I want to do 10 grand a month in my business in 6 months. It's realistic because you could do it, okay? It's attainable. It's timely because it's in 6 months, okay? It's specific. And then you reverse engineer it into what you do on a monthly, weekly, daily basis, okay? So that's my recommendation. SMART goals, some of you probably heard about them, others probably haven't. SMART goals are hugely important. I believe it can really change the face of your business. It's really that simple, setting a goal of an X amount of revenue based on X amount of clients, committing to, like as an example, if your goal was to do 10K of revenue in the next 6 months, you're basically picking up 2 clients per month for the next roughly 6 months, maybe a little bit, maybe 5 months. Picking up 2 clients a month, you just have to do a certain amount of activity on a weekly, daily basis to back into 2 clients a month. All right. We're gonna talk more about that in the accountability group on a daily basis. All right. I don't think we need to get that granular in that activity here because I do want to give some of you guys a chance to chat. This has all been one-sided for the most part. I get all fired up because I like to help people, and I mean this is the stuff that fires me up. So it's really important that we lay the right foundation. All right. So before I open this up to questions and things like that, your attitude and your actions are the only things you can control. It's about being consistent with what you're doing. It's about being proactive in what you're doing, all right? And then setting a goal that's realistic that we can reverse engineer so that you know what kind of activity you need to do on a daily basis to get you to that goal. Having said that, I just shared it in the group, in the accountability group before we got on this call. What I was saying was, if you committed to 3 audits per day, 7 days a week, you could do that in like 30 minutes a day, okay? 20 audits per month of business owners, okay? Now granted, you gotta do research, you gotta find people that need ranking help, etc. But if you did 20 a week, for a month is 80, for 3 months is 240, 240 audits over 90 days is totally doable for anybody on here. There's no reason why if you don't sell people, if you give them room to make their own decisions, if you don't push them, if you're not a weirdo on the phone, if you don't bombard them with weird messages, et cetera, if you add value to people, there's no reason in my mind you can't find 8 to 10 businesses that say, you bet I'm looking to grow my business. I love what you're talking about. I see the value you offer. I believe you can help me grow my business. Game on, let's roll. Okay. If you can commit to 3 a day for the next 90 days, I'll bet you there's no reason why you can't hit 10 grand a month in 90 days. Here's the thing. Your consistency is based on how big your goal is, your dream. If it's not emotional, like making 10 grand a month is not enough. Like your goal has to get you fired up to the point where like, it makes you so emotional. You've got to have it like air. Like if you don't have air, like you're gasping for it, right? Your goal has to be so emotional that you're going to fight and claw for it. So when that joker hangs up on you and tells you I'm interested, psych, I'm not, you don't get all flustered. You're like, I don't give a rip about what this guy says. I'm calling somebody else who I know I can help, right? Like your goal has to be big and burly enough and emotional enough. It can't just be money. I'm just telling you straight up. It's got to be, you know, my parents are ailing with their health and I want to take care of their medical bills. My wife and I both work a job and one of us wants to be home with the kids and raise our kids. I work like a dog at my job and I want to spend more time with my kids, but I can't see them. I'm in debt up to my eyeballs and I hate being owned by other people. I want to get out of debt. You name it, guys, ladies. Like, money is not going to make you happy. Money isn't going to drive you. It's the emotion. It's what the money can do for you in your life that's going to motivate you to stay consistent, to push through all the negativity and all the people that are giving you guff to get to where you want to go. All right. That's just the reality of it. And the people that can be consistent because they've got a goal that fires them up, man. Like, you know, for me, it was, I want to make enough money where I don't have to think about, you know, paying for groceries. Where we got extra, where if we want to go camping or we want to go rent a cabin somewhere, we can just do simple things. You know, it's where I can spend time with my kids and go take them get ice cream in the afternoon. Like, you know, being around watching my kids grow up, like, I don't want to miss it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to miss that stuff. So, like, for you, you may not have kids. I don't know, but I need you to start thinking bigger than just money. Like this tool, this Rank Daddy program is the vehicle that's going to help you accomplish the goals that are the most important and dear to your heart. But that's what's going to drive you to do everything Brandon and I talk about. All right. So that's in my mind, the foundation of all this stuff. We're going to talk way more about this in the group, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So I'm going to stop. We've been going for like 30 minutes or so. I'm going to unmute everybody. All right. I've looked at a lot of your concerns. I've looked at a lot of your goals. I've looked at the availability of your schedule. I've looked at your hang-ups. I've looked at a lot of that stuff, and I'm appreciative of you guys sharing. I want to open up the floor one at a time. Some people like to talk more than others, which is fine. But we're here to help you guys. I'd like to get some feedback. If there's anything technical about SEO, we're going to table that. That's not for this tonight. We're not going to answer specific technical SEO questions. We're not going to go through necessarily specific prospecting techniques on this. We could do that for sure. But are there any comments, any feedback thus far, or anything you guys would like to share?
Hey Ed, Ken McGibbon here. Can you hear me?
Hey Ken, yeah, absolutely. What's up?
Thank you guys for doing this, and Brandon also. Appreciate you letting me in here. Quick question to you, Ed, is your definition of an audit sending out a cold screencast to somebody, or is an audit after you've talked to somebody and you're getting more into the details with them?
No, to me an audit is just taking, like I just did one about an hour ago. I was referred a business and I audited off my phone. On the iPhone, you can record your screen.
Yeah.
If you have an iPhone, you know, sorry. I don't know if Google Play has apps that do that yet. But yeah, an audit is just you going through 3 to 5 minutes of a couple key points of some things that a business owner can do to improve how they're ranking. It's designed, here's what it is. An audit is simply designed to show the prospect you are different than other people, you're offering value, and you're showing them exactly how they can fix what's wrong with their site on their own. But what happens is owners are too busy and they say, man, you seem to know what you're talking about. How much will you do it for me? Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Right. I was unclear if it was the cold screencast before you actually talked to somebody or if it was after that. So that makes sense. I appreciate it.
Yep. Anybody else?
Hey, how's it going?
Who is it? Morgan? Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep. Oh, you're my
Hey,
UFC.
what's up, man? Hey.
You're my UFC. You're my UFC.
Yeah,
buddy,
I'm
right?
your UFC guy, man. I'm your UFC guy. Hey, I just want to say I'm glad to be on here. I'm glad to be a part of this team. Literally, I think just even being a part of this group and just joining up has had such a positive effect on my life, just already as is. I think that the courses everything that's been put through is so, I feel like I've learned more in a week than my entire high school or any post-secondary education that I've ever had. You know what I mean? In terms of
Awesome.
learning a relevant skill set that I can use for myself. So I just wanted to thank you guys, Ed and Brandon, for that. And yeah, what else do I wanted to say? For the white paper, because I feel like I came from a personal training background. I've trained a lot of clients before, so I'm pretty good with the sales aspect of things. I'm a good talker, but maybe technical wise, I'm not as strong. I don't think, like, when it comes down to, as I say, like technical things, I'm not as good. How would I go about? So when I charge a client, let's say I land a client, and you're saying it's like $1,000, and then 500 goes to you, 500 goes to me. Where am I sending that 500? Is that just by a PayPal link to you guys, or how does that work?
We invoice you through Square. If you're not talking, guys, could you just mute yourself? There's a lot of interference. But yeah, so when you get a deal and you partner with us on the white label, you're doing the billing for your client, so it's your client. We never contact them. We just work everything in the background. So you tell us, hey, it's $1,000 deal. I landed it. Here's the keywords, whatever. You'll fill out our form, the intake form on that white label page, and we invoice you for it. So it's like you're our customer.
Yeah. That's a cool setup because, like, as I said, like, I'm good. I've talked to a few guys, but I got one guy who's kind of interested. He's a friend of mine. He does he's a real estate broker, and he's kind of a friend, and I want to help him out. He wants to push his business up a little bit, or a lot, actually. So and there's a couple other guys, like the gym I work at, there's a lot of people who own their own business. So there's a lot of potential clients I could approach and kind of be, if they're interested, maybe close a deal, get some information, exchange numbers. I need to work a little bit more on the presentation, like doing the presentations and the audits, but that's kind of what my main focus is on right now. But I do like that option, and I'm going to really try and push for that right now, and then learn on the side. I think that in itself, I think, is a really, really smart move on you guys. I mean, you win, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. I think that's a really smart setup, and that is pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited because I've always liked the idea of being a sales guy. I just wasn't really sure how to go about it, and I was doing personal training, not making too much money, and yeah, that's kind of it. I'm pretty excited about that, and just want to thank you again for putting all this together, and I'm looking forward to just progressing and growing. Like, I can't tell you how excited I am. Just like something's changed. Like, I was just so down and so, like, feeling so crappy about where my life was going, and then I was looking at lead gen, then I was seeing what they were charging, and then literally the next video I saw was the Rank Daddy video. I'm like, I'm in. $1. I'm like, I mean, I can't believe we don't have like we should have the biggest group. I mean, because when you look at all these other groups, they're all just like these, you know, they try to come across like they're like these billionaire hotshots, and they have all this money, and then but you're just like, what I liked about you was you were just like, hey, I'm just, you know, you came across as a really, you were the most transparent, I felt, because I've seen tons of other stuff, and you and Ed just you two come across, in my opinion, as the most transparent. I'm just like, I just trusted you when I saw that video. I'm like, I don't know this guy, I don't know anything about him, but I trust him. I like this guy. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that's it on my end.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. So hey, just
Yeah,
so you guys know, go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
No, I know what you're saying. I've been in all those other groups, and our group is kind of small because I kick the people out that aren't engaging. If they're not going to stay in the group, they don't need to be here. So I see a lot of these other groups, and they're just wide open to let everybody in, but there's nobody engaging in there. And yes, I've seen a lot of the guru leaders, and you know what they're, you know, I don't know if they're renting a Lamborghini to do it or whatever, but all of that was just made no sense to me. Why go through all this show just to build a group?
Yeah.
It's real. And I actually used the system before I built the thing. The way this all started was I wanted to have a business that I wasn't stuck at an office. I wasn't stuck at a job.
Me too.
I wanted to work only 10 hours a week or less. And I wanted, you know, the money to be able to do that. So the three things: I wanted the time freedom, the spatial freedom. So I wanted to run everything from my phone, forget the laptop. And so everything I decided to do in my business was directed to those things. If there was something that came up that didn't fall in those categories, I just didn't do it. And so I built the whole thing, my whole SEO agency based on that. And I don't know, the whole story, I just started giving it away, sharing the information because it was working. I wanted to make sure before I actually built the course and started offering it for sale that it worked. So I offered it to people that I knew in other groups. 1,000 people joined in 6 months, and same results. People were ranking clients' sites like on demand. And so I'm like, wow, this really works. So we laid out a simple 6-page course, and it just kind of grew from there. So what it is today, you see that a lot of time has gone into it. Now my SEO business only takes me 1-2 hours a week, maybe. And that's kind of stretching it. It's kind of on autopilot. My VA and my assistants are running it. I put my time now into Rank Daddy so that I can show other people exactly how I got to the point I am in my SEO agency. That's where I'm really finding more enjoyment. Before it was like, yeah, I'm helping this business owner and I landed, but I mean, I'm only helping a handful of people. When I can now help hundreds of people do the same thing and forget about all the failure stuff, all the stuff that I made mistakes on. Don't even show that. Just this is all you need. These few things. Like there's 300 ways that Google looks at to rank a site. Don't worry about all that. Just focus on these 6 because these are the most important.
I love the logic of it too, and just how like when I looked at it, I'm like this makes sense, and I'm trying to like explain to my parents. I'm like, hey, because like I live at home, and my goal is so they don't have to work, right? Because my dad's parents are close to retirement. They're kind of worrying about money right now. So I'm like, I want to take care of that for them. So I'm trying to explain to them like, hey, this is what Google does, and this is kind of how it's basically what I'm trying to explain to him in a way that he can understand. Like it's like a catalog. It's like an online catalog that Google's looking at, and if the catalog's good, more people will see it and more people will buy things. And my dad just looks at me. He's like, you know, he's 68 years old, right? So old school baby boomer, right? So he's like, oh, I don't know. Well, this sounds like a long shot. You know, everyone's probably doing it. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm like, there's a lot of doctors too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, you know, people in lots of business. It doesn't mean it's a long shot, but it's just different. You're a different way of thinking. But I try to like explain it to him. And he just in one ear out the other, you know.
That's cool.
Hey, keep one thing in mind. The only way you fail is if you quit.
100%.
It's the only way. It's the only way you're gonna fail. All right.
Yeah.
People quit stuff all the stinking time. All right. People like get rich quick as get broke fast. Everyone's looking for oh, the shiny
Yeah.
light. It's like, come on, like, all right, there's still work involved here. Like, you're talking
Yeah.
about white labeling, what Brandon's doing. So he's fulfilling for you, and you're basically keeping 50%. Like, that's good for some people. I was gonna go that route initially, but I'm like, you know what? I know what my costs are, so I know how to get my costs a lot lower. I'm a numbers guy, so I'm all about maximizing my profit. But at the same time, it's like, it's a control thing. I'm a control freak. Sorry, Brandon. That's the way
No,
it is.
it's good.
It was just kind of the initial like practicing my sales skills while I'm still kind of learning the technique on the side. That's kind of why I liked it, the idea of it.
Yeah.
And then get a
So
free
here's
membership.
what we see. We see new members come in, and we set that white label up because we know there's a degree of being uncomfortable as a new student. SEO, I got to land a client now. Now I'm in control of bringing his site to the top of Google. Yeah, here's the training. Here's how you do it, but there's still a degree of I don't know if I can really do it. That's why that there. So here's what we see. We see new members come in and they start this white label thing. And if you look at Caleb's episode 11, he is also mentioned like in episode 6. We landed him because I was in a Facebook group and he wanted us, anyway, I went through all this stuff and he called me the next day and he wanted us to do his real estate site. We landed 3 deals at like $3,200 a month. After 2 months, he said, I think I can do this by myself. I was like, that's exactly what we want you to do.
Yeah.
So you're going to use this white label in the beginning. Probably you're going to do 1 or 2 deals, but at any time, whenever you've got this, we can phase everything over to you and it's still your customer. They just don't know that we stopped doing the work and you picked it up. So that's why that's there. We don't have many come in. There actually are a few that have had deals with us since day 1, and we're still doing their deals. We've got guys just, I don't know. They're not active in the group. They've landed the deals and they're at the beach or whatever. So, it's there. Use it, don't use it, whatever. But whenever you're ready, we can phase everything over to you.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Well, another kind of goal is I want to compete more in martial arts, and the problem is there's no money in that, right? So, like I definitely do know 100%. Like I want to grow into a point where I'm like, okay, I want to be in control because like I am a control freak myself. I just have to have some other passions that I'm also interested in as well. But like I definitely long term, I want to just, I don't know. I like talking. I like the sale. I like doing. I'm comfortable on the phone. I had to do a lot of cold calling. Work at a gym, by the way, if you want to get comfortable on the phone, because like calling people for memberships all day, people hanging up on you. Like I've definitely experienced some of those aspects. I hated being on the phone before, but I had to do it. So
Morgan, just so you know, if you or anybody else is comfortable on the phone, I've gone through Sandler training. I've gone through a lot of trainings over the last 20 years. So we really perfected what we believe works. I have it all figured out. But in fact, I'll go through it real quick so you guys understand it. I'll do it in like 2-3 minutes. So basically, when you call a business owner, you're bothering them. They're not expecting your phone call, and you're not the only one calling them. All right. So you have to realize I've got a small window of time to get this person's attention. So basically, if I'm calling Brandon, hey Brandon, this is Ed Weidman. Did I catch you at a bad time? Stop, pause, let him answer. Okay. The psychology is you're letting him know he's in control. Okay. You're letting him decide what's gonna happen next. Yeah, man, I'm super busy. What's up, Ed? What's going on? Well, listen. Now it's your 30. If you're opening, it's the open. It's the first week. Then it's qualifying for time. It's listen. I know you're real busy. You got a lot going on with your business. I'd like to take 30 seconds and tell you what I'm calling about. I'm gonna mute you guys. Hold on. Just so it's a lot of feedback. So I know you're busy. You have a lot going on your plate. Listen, I'm going to take 30 seconds and tell you why I'm calling. Let me know if anything I say is of interest to you to talk further. Pause. Is that fair? Pause. So basically, you're asking for 30 seconds. It's a 30-second commercial. That's what you're asking to do. If you're going to make a phone call. Some of you guys, this may be irrelevant. I still think you should try it. I promise you, this will get you results faster than anything else. So that's my take on it. So again, if I catch you at a bad time, yeah, I'm busy. What's going on? Listen, I know you're busy, got a lot on your plate. I'd like to take 30 seconds to tell you why I'm calling. You can let me know if it's something of interest that you'd like to talk about further. Is that cool with you? I'm very laid back. I can be professional. I've done $1 million deals with the state of New York in IT consulting, so I can turn that on if I need to. But people don't want stuffy sales telemarketers, man. They get SEO companies, these big burly companies. They're trying to sell these services. They can smell that a mile away. If you sound salesy, you're toast. You got to be hang loose, cool, laid back, just be natural, all right? So you're going to say, Brandon's going to say, all right, Ed, 30 seconds. What do you got? Boom. Hey, I own my own SEO agency. We specialize in helping rank businesses to the top of Google to get more leads. We just help transition, success story, credibility, current credibility, past tense, current credibility. Current credibility is we just started working with a roofing company in Austin, Texas. A month ago, he went from page 3 to page 1 in a month. He's already getting phone calls. He's stoked. Let me ask you a question. How's your business going? Are you looking to grow business? Are you happy with business? Are you looking to grow? Pause, let him answer. Okay? If the guy's happy with business, I get tons of referrals. I work with insurance companies. I'm all set. Thank you for your time, for being honest. Have a nice day. The guy's like, oh, well, I've done some marketing with Town Square Interactive or Dex Media, which they shouldn't be doing, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I've tried some stuff like that. Never really worked for me, et cetera, et cetera. I respect that. Hey, listen, I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to do anything. Here's what I like to do. I'm going to invest 5 minutes of my time to put together an audit of your website and your online presence to show you exactly what you could do to improve how you're ranking so that that phone rings and you get more leads. I'll do that as long as you promise that you'll invest the 5 minutes to watch it. Is that cool with you? Brandon says, 5 minutes? You're going to give me something for free? You're going to give me value? Sure. Okay, Brandon, I appreciate your honesty. Listen, give me the best way to contact you by phone, whatever, email. I'm going to pop it over to you. I'm going to call you tomorrow. When's the best time to connect with you tomorrow? Just to chat about it, not making a decision, just to kind of talk about it and kind of get your take on it. Oh, I'm busy, whatever. And you find a time that works and then you call him at that time. Is he going to answer? He might not because he's busy. The point is you follow that progression. There's so much sales psychology in that phone script, if you will. You do that 100 times, you're going to get, I'm telling you, you're going to get prospects. Because I did this, I worked for Groupon, I worked for IBM, I worked for other big companies, and the psychology of that simplicity of a call is so stinking effective that you'll have, if I call 20 business owners, I might get 12 that don't answer the phone, they get voicemail, okay? I might get 5 or 6 answer, 3, 4, 5, 6 are gonna say I'm not interested, but then I'm gonna get a few that say, well, I'm kind of interested. Sure, send it to me. You might get 1 that day, but on average, you should get a couple a day. So if you call 20 a day, as an example, and you got 2, 10%, you do 2 hours a day for a week, that's a dozen or more, you're going to close a few deals a month. And that's a few grand a month of new revenue. Stack that month over month, and in 3, 4 months, you're going to be making 2 grand a month. Okay. So that's the psychology of it. I think what's really important, it's kind of a salesy thing, but I kind of think I need to mention it. When I talk to prospects on the phone, I just had 5 people referred to me and I had a dozen referred to me this week, I think it was. I closed 4 or 5. I closed 5 this week. So we added like 5 grand in revenue this week. Every single one of them, when I talked to them after the audit, all I do is I say, hey, listen, Morgan, listen. Was that audit helpful? Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. We have our conversation. At the end of the conversation, I say, listen, I'm not here to sell you. I'm not here to get you to do anything you're not comfortable doing. Was this valuable? Do you see value in what we're doing? What we can do? Yeah, I can see value. Positive response. Yeah. I say, listen. I say, the bottom line is this. This is my close, guys. This is my close. You can use it in email. You can use it wherever. There'll be notes on this. I say, listen. I said, the bottom line is this. If you don't believe that your business is going to be better off with me in it, we shouldn't work together. They're like, you serious? I'm like, well, yeah, why should you? Because here's the thing. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste their time. You guys might be new. I get it. But don't beg people. Don't be a garbage can with a hairy lid. Okay? Don't beg people to do business with you. I'm going to say it right now. You get somebody who's hot to try, who's interested. Oh, I got one on the hook. I got to catch this fish. Don't be desperate. Commission breath will that door will close so fast you have no idea. If you sound desperate, you need a deal, you're going to lose business. I promise you. You need to be calm, cool, cool hand Luke, be laid back and be like, hey, listen, I'm not here to sell you. If you don't see value in what I'm talking about, if you don't believe I can help you, we shouldn't do business together. I'll tell you what. Why don't you and I connect in a couple days? Some people would say, well, Ed, should we close them on the spot? I'm like, no. Why? Because you want to be different than all these other jokers out there that are trying. The car sales guys are trying to close you on the spot. Don't do that. Here's the thing. $1,000 a month client is a $12,000 a year raise in your life. Show me something you could do in your job to get a $12,000 raise in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, nothing.
Goose egg. So my point is, be patient. Don't push people. Give them room. Say, hey, listen, I want you to take a couple days, give some thought to our conversation. When we get back together, we'll schedule some time to chat. I want you to make a decision that you can go to bed at night and have zero regrets, knowing that you made the right decision for your business. Who the heck's not going to love that conversation? That's the conversation I just had to 5 business owners this week. And I say to them, was this call helpful to you? Yeah. What were your you know what? I like your approach. You're not trying to sell me. I'm like, exactly. I'm not. Because here's the thing. I'm interviewing you and you're interviewing me and we're seeing if there's a good fit. If there's no good fit, we walk. It's business, not personal. That, guys, you could do that in email, Facebook, Twitter, carrier pigeon, phone call, you name it. That mindset is going to save you so much time. I'm telling you, I've had to tweak my process over years and years and years, and that is money in the bank because people are like, man, that guy he's not trying to sell me. He's trying to add value to my business. He's talking about return on investment. He's talking about helping me win my business. I like this guy. I think I want to work with him. I had a woman yesterday. I go, Tracy, I'm like, give it some thought for a couple of days. She's like, honestly, Ed, I already made my decision. I'm ready to go. I'm like, you sure about that? I'm like, you can take a couple of days. I was willing to let her walk. I'm willing to push her off. She's like, no. How do I sign up? I'll send you a link in 5 minutes. An hour later, she signed up. I had 2 like that yesterday. One at like 11:30 last night, which is like, I told my wife, I'm like, another one signed up at like 11:30 at night. So,
man.
All right. So guys, like, it's a sales piece of it. We're at an hour mark. It's fine. This is recorded. So if you got to go, you can come back on this thing. You can listen to the rest of it later. I understand. I have a couple more things I want to share. Some housekeeping, some accountability things specifically, but you need to understand the psychology of it. You are not supposed to try to sell people. You need to give them space to make a good decision. You need to differentiate yourself from other people because every other stinking SEO agency is doing exactly the opposite. So you need to respect people and qualify for their time and, win them over with an amazing experience. Okay. That's going to help you open more doors. All right. You still got to go through a lot of numbers. It's part of the process. But if you can put yourself in a position to have conversations, whether by email or what have you, it's going to benefit you long term. All right. the other thing I want to talk about, and then I'll open it up again, and like, not a lot of feedback. It's fine. I'm not offended by it by any means. Maybe you just need to digest this stuff. It's totally fine. Just know we're here to help you guys. Like, this is not just, we're pulling this out of thin air, trying to get you guys to stick around. We want to help you win in your business. Okay. From an accountability perspective, we'll have a call once a week, phone call. I'm fine doing it. We didn't do it in February. I decided in March, I'm going to up my game and I'm going to make myself available we're going to have a call once a week. I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to provide a document. I'm going to ask you guys to log your activity on it. It's not designed to compare. It's designed to help you be accountable to the group, because a rising tide raises all ships. All right. I understand. Oh, I don't want to show people I missed a day. It's okay. If you miss a day because your daughter had her dance recital and you couldn't get out of work early, it's fine. Make up for it the next day. Like, every day is a do-over. Okay. It's like Groundhog Day. You get the same day, you get the same day coming the next day. Right. So I'm going to make it available. It's your choice. The reason why I feel like if you're accountable to other people, it's going to keep you on track better. You're like, man, you know what? I didn't get my 3 audits in today. I'm not going to bed tonight without doing them. I'm going to get them done. Right? It's going to build confidence. It's going to build, it's going to give you a sense of value that you can offer people the more you're consistent with what you're doing. Right? The more participation, the more engagement you guys have in here at whatever level, it's going to benefit you. If you stay dormant, there's only so much we can do to help, because if you don't ask questions and if you don't participate, there's only so much we can do. All right. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to unmute you guys. I think the game plan, simply, a lot of you guys have a hard time staying organized. 3 audits a day, invest 30 minutes to an hour in your business. That's it. You want to do more? Do more. That's fine. 3 audits per day for a month is 80 audits. 3 months is 240. If you don't try to sell people, if you give them room to make a decision, if you offer insane value, go the extra mile, follow up like you say you're going to follow up, wow people, be respectful, etc. At 240 audits, you're not going to talk to everybody, okay? You're just not. But you'll find 8 to 10 business owners out of that. And here's what you got to also understand. I'm saying 3. You're not going to be effective in the first batch because you're going to get nervous. You're going to fumble over your words. You're going to stutter. Big deal. Send it anyway. Just be real with people. I think that's the most important thing. The more audits you do, the more time you invest in your business, the more you start demanding that success, like I talked about earlier. The more confidence you start getting better and more efficient with your audit. And people sense that confidence in the intonation of your voice, the inflection in your voice, and that guy got my attention. I'm going to call him back. Man, that was a good email message. Oh, that was a good, wow, that was really amazing. That guy is awesome. I'm going to call him back. You're going to get better results over time if you choose to be consistent. Your consistency is based on the long-term goal and your emotional attachment to the accomplishment of it. A participation and consistent activity on a daily basis is what's going to get you there. All right. 3 a day is the game plan, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm asking you guys for your businesses. 3 audits a day can literally have you in a position making 10 grand a month in the next, 90 to 150 days, give or take, because, it's going to start bubbling up over time. All right. You don't have to do it what I did. I took way longer because you guys don't have to cut your teeth on this like Brandon and I did. He had to cut his teeth in a different way. I had to cut my teeth in a different way. You have the technical aspects of Rank Daddy to teach you everything you need to know. And I'm helping provide you with the sales psychology, the mindset, the game planning, all that stuff. This tag team approach, there's no reason why you can't do that in the next 90 to 120 days. But it's on you. The X factor in this is you and your ability to be consistent and take action. Good attitude, take action, engage, participate. Cool. Anybody got any, Brandon, is there anything that we talked about at this point you want to chime in here? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, wait, hold on.
Can
Unmute. Hold on. You're muted.
I ask a question real fast?
Sure, who's that?
This is King.
Hey, Keith.
So whatever you.
Are you guys unmuted? Because I just hit unmute all.
Yeah.
All participants are unmuted. Okay, there we go. We're good. Keith, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to thank you guys. This is awesome. I don't even think you guys know how amazing this is, so I appreciate you making this very easy on very new people at this. So I just really want to throw my appreciation at you. I just had a quick question when you were saying about cold calling. What would be the your best suggestion for actually getting through to the owner of the business?
Okay, good question. This came up in the February group like right away, just like you are, Keith. So you're on point. The more common sense you apply to your business venture, the faster you're gonna get results. What do I mean by that? And I'm not saying you don't have it. I'm just I want to point. It's like if I say elephant, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about elephants, right? So I'm saying common sense. So I'm highlighting it so you'll be thinking more that way. Okay. When do the gatekeepers come in the office? 8:30, 9 o'clock. What time do employees typically leave? 5 o'clock on the button. Why? Because they don't own the business. Owners come in early, owners stay late because they got a vested interest in succeeding at a high level, right? So the best time to connect with owners, if you are calling or email, whatever, is before like 8:30 in the morning. You start 7:45 to 8:30 is an opportunity to get a hold of people. After 5 p.m. is an opportunity to get a hold of the owners. If you're gonna make a phone call, they're gonna appreciate your hustle if you're early or late because they're just like you. You have commonality with them, and you can even make a joke and say, "Hey man, you're up early hustling for your business, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, what can I do for you?" You'd be like, "Well, listen, you're busy. You got on your plate today. I got a quick question for you. Like, take 30 seconds. Bam, done. Right?" So before the gatekeeper gets in, roofing companies, some of these bigger companies, you also have to think about businesses that you can actually reach the owner. A lot of roofing companies are a lot bigger, and they have gatekeepers trained to keep you from talking to the owner. So use your judgment. What kind of businesses where you can reach owners that might have their cell phone numbers on the side of their trucks? One of my claim to fame as far as prospecting was billboards, because they're spending money on billboards, going to Home Depot or Lowe's parking lot early morning, because all those trucks are picking up supplies to go out on job sites.
Oh,
Take
that's good.
pictures of all those trucks. Take a picture of all those trucks. Stop the guys in the parking lot and be like, "Yo, where you guys going today? What are you working on, man? Are you the owner? Oh no, he's back. Hey, listen, what are you guys doing for business? You guys looking to grow your business? Do you know who's the owner?" And then you call the owner and say, "Yo, I talked to one of your guys, Jeffrey. He was hustling for you this morning at Home Depot. I got a quick question for you." It gives you an in. It's a totally different way of doing it. Take pictures. I'm telling you, I'm gonna freak you guys out. Every time you're at an intersection at a light, you're gonna be taking pictures of trucks and billboards now. People think you're nuts. But it's all about thinking the best time to get a hold of them is before the gatekeeper gets there. Okay? The best businesses are the ones that are advertising on TV, radio, billboards, the trucks that are wrapping, the guys that wrap their trucks. How much do you think a wrap job costs? $2 to $5 grand on a truck. They're dropping money to advertise their business. So they can spend $1 grand a month on SEO or whatever the dollar amount is. Okay. That's just some off tangent stuff. But, gatekeepers come in 8:30, they leave at 5 typically. Call before and after, you're good to go. Use those ideas to find businesses in your local area. And Brandon said this to me a long time ago. He's down in New Braunfels in Texas, like 100,000 people down there. A lot of good old boys, I'm sure. If you're in a town of 100,000 people, You can have $100,000 to $250,000 a year business in a city of 100,000 people. Because you could have 20 businesses paying you $1,000 a month in that one city, and you never have to prospect outside your city if you don't want to. So my recommendation is find a city of 100K people. You'll be able to charge $1,000 a month in that because there's enough traffic, there's enough volume to warrant to get enough calls. Okay. So sorry guys, I get all fired up. It's just, you know what's cool? Here's what it is. I've failed. So the people who have the most success have failed the most. Okay. I was talking with Morgan about this. My cousin Chris is in the UFC. He was a middleweight champ. He's actually he's coming back up. You have no idea how much failure he dealt with before he even hit UFC. Like fail, knockout, matches where he got pinned. I mean, it's just like, you got to understand, failure is the complement to success. So fail forward, embrace the struggle, and wear it as a badge of honor, and realize I'm going to fail as much as possible to win as fast as possible. All right. I get fired up because it's like, this is the shortcut to financial freedom, to financial independence. Don't try to shortcut the shortcut. All right. We have figured this thing out and dialed it in so well from a technical SEO standpoint and from a business standpoint that you guys can take your business to 100K a year in the next 3 to 4 months. All right. I get fired up because I've learned through failure how to be effective. My closing ratio is like 95% now on referrals because I've got my system, man. It works. And I have a guy today who just told me, if you'll pay me an affiliate commission, I have 8 more business owners that want to talk to you because I've already talked to them. I'm like, are you kidding, Chris? He's like, yeah. So it's like, I have a system that works. If you adopt the system, you're going to get the same kind of results over time. All right. So I'm going to shut up. Brandon, you want to chime in here and help shut the thing down in a minute?
Especially if you're new, don't get distracted. There's people talking in the group about different tools and things that they use. And I don't use any tools other than SERPtrack in my SEO business. I no longer need it. You don't need it to prospect. You don't need it to do the work unless you're actually doing the technical stuff and you're not outsourcing everything, which is highly recommended to outsource, because all you have to do at that point is land deals and get really good at prospecting and customer management. If you're able to outsource every single step, just like the training allows or recommends, you don't need all these crazy tools. Use RankDaddy. Figure out what you want to do, what you want in your life, and let RankDaddy be the vehicle to get you there. It's proven. It's a method that works, but you have to figure out a way to help others first. And this is when you're prospecting before you're even landing a client. Figure out how to educate them, how to help them in their business to get more customers or whatever that is that they want. You may be talking to a roofing company, and when talking to them, you may realize that they want more residential than commercial, or more commercial than residential, because they get insurance claims or whatever, and they've got a crews to handle the work, and the jobs are bigger. You can tweak an SEO campaign to get them more commercial jobs. Make that your keyword focus. But you have to go out there and figure out a way to help the people first. Zig Ziglar said you can have anything you want in life if you first figure out how to help other people get what they want. These business owners their wallets are open to you if you can do that for them. I don't have a client in my agency that isn't paying me $1,000 a month that I don't bring them an extra 10 or 20 every month for that. That's why people don't stop paying you once you start. I mean, who's going to stop paying $1,000 a month if every month they're seeing a 10 to 20K return on that? This is why our retention rate is so high. But in order to get in the door, you've got to show value. You've got to give them, help them first. So Ed's probably going to touch on it, and we'll have people make a mistake in the group because you're so excited. You got this little group around us, and we're going to get to know each other, and we're going to hear each other's stories. Try not to use our accountability group as your go-to group for questions or things. leave that all in the main group. Ask your questions there, engage there. There's 250 or 60 people there that can help you. Use this group for the accountability stuff only. So if you forget, we'll kindly remind you, but those are kind of the two standout things. And we're going to get into a lot more of this as we start doing Zoom calls. We're not going to let Ed talk so much in those calls. No, I'm just kidding. But he's got a lot of stuff to bring to the table. I'm telling you, between him and Kevin and me and some of the other leaders in the group, suck off of all of that and stay engaged in the groups, and we're going to help you go far.
I wanted to share just a couple of points. I'll be real quick. So there's a lot of networking groups in Atlanta, and so in the last couple of weeks, I mean, I go to some of these groups. I have for years. And I was at an event at Brave Stadium last night. There were 200 people. And people that I know are asking me, you know, well, hey, how's business? What are you up to? And I used to talk about websites because that's what we've done for 20 years. And I say, yeah, you know, I'm focusing on SEO now. And everybody wants to find out what that is and what I got to offer. And I felt like I was the most valuable person out of 200 people at that event, not because of me, but because I got a system that works, and everybody in that room wants to grow their business. And the question is, you know, is their business the right fit? Is it the right size? So you know, you got to believe that in every one of those categories that are listed in that spreadsheet, that there's a roofer in your area that wants to grow their business, and there's a plumber, and there's, you know, everybody in each of those categories. And when you sort of got that mindset, you know, it's a lot easier to have conversations. I've gotten 3 or 4 leads I'm working on right now just in the last couple of weeks from, you know, just some networking groups, people that I see on a regular basis. The other thing is, I've got a coach who's a client. We're doing his website, and he does a workshop every Monday night. And so I show up, and he talks about, you know, the abundance mindset. And, you know, 4 or 5 people show up. It's a little group thing. It's free. You can toss a couple bucks in the dish on your way out. But I go because I need to get my mind, my brain filled with positive thoughts and affirmations. And so I go every week, just like Morgan goes to work out. And he talks about scripting and writing. You know, I am successful. I have something of value to offer. And so you write these statements as if they already exist. And because without that, I've got a lot of negative self-talk and doubt. So find somebody, find a coach or even a podcast or something to fill your head. I'm sure this group is going to, you know, provide all that. But we've got something that people need, and you know, it's exciting when you walk into a room with that kind of mindset.
Yeah,
good, Bill. There's a book called "What Do You Say When You Talk to Yourself" by Shad Helmstetter, I think it is. It's like $6 on Amazon. Self-talk is so vital. Like, you guys, we don't realize how much negative stuff we could say, you know, about our heads. And, you know, your subconscious is trained by the words you speak and the thoughts that are in your brain. So if you, I suck at this, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, guess what? Your subconscious is going to figure out ways to make what you said a reality. So the most, like Bill just said, I'm so glad you said it. Controlling what comes out of your mouth and what things you're thinking dictate where you go in life, right? It's out the bounds of all this, but it's so important in business. Speaking your goal in present tense and who you are in present tense is extremely valuable, because you say, you know, I make 10 grand a month in my business right now. Business owners want to work with me. They think that I can offer them amazing value. People call me all the time to partner with me. I get results from my clients. My business is exploding with growth. Like you start speaking stuff like that, guess what? Your subconscious is going to figure out ways to actually make it a reality in your life. And when you take the stuff we're talking about here and the technical aspects of it, that 1-2 punch is a home run every single time, you know? So thank you, Bill. It's really awesome. Hey, Bill, as a suggestion, you talk about this networking group. I would highly recommend trying to orchestrate where you could do an audit, a live audit to the entire group of 200 people. Get in front of everybody, pick an owner, work it out with somebody, and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna do 5 free audits or 10 free audits to business owners here in the room. Can we set something like that up? I'm telling you, you can make $100,000 a year right there.
Yeah, I actually run a monthly SEO meetup in our office in the training room. So first Tuesday of every month. And traditionally we've been talking about just your basic SEO stuff and writing good content and all that. I haven't even really touched on what I've uncovered in the last month. But I've got a captive audience of 165 members in the meetup group. So at some point I'm going to leverage that.
Cool. All right. Anybody else have any quick questions? I have one more thing I wanted to say real quick. I promise. I can gush up for hours. Seriously. Like, I love helping people win in life, man. It's awesome. There's nothing more fulfilling. But does anybody else have any questions? Okay. All right. So let me leave you with this. I want you to get perspective of who you are and the people you're talking to. Okay? The person you're talking to, the business owner, they're just like you and me. They like having barbecues. They like going out with their friends, watching good movies. Don't be intimidated by a business owner. He's not better than you. If you're calling him, a lot of times people have that feeling like, I'm intimidated. He's going to think I'm a loser. He's better than me. And the way you talk sounds defeated and deflated and not confident. So realize we are more alike than we're different. And he's just like you. He's just like me. Okay? What else? Get perspective of what you have your hands on. You have the solution to business owners' problems. They're all trying to figure out how to grow their revenue and get the best return on investment possible. I have a client who pays me $1,000 a month. In January, she closed 30 grand of new revenue. That's a 30-to-1 ROI. You don't think SEO can get business owners results? Think again. You have the tool to get them the results to help their business grow and help them accomplish their goals and dreams for their employees and for their families. Okay? It's hugely important. Don't be a garbage can with a hairy lid. Don't feel beneath people. Raise up your head and be like, I got the solution to people's problems. If you get afraid of calling somebody or you get intimidated, you're being selfish. It's about you. When you say, you know what? I've got the solution to solve business owners' problems. It's not, I have to make that call. I have to send that email. I get to. I'm honored to, because you never know. That next phone call, that next email could connect me with a business owner that we become friends for life. And we change our communities together. So realize you got the solution to people's problems. You can get them a return on investment to help them achieve their goals. And people are no different than you and I. Don't be intimidated. Don't worry what people think. They're going to forget you 5 seconds after they hang up. They're going to forget your name. So don't make a big deal. Don't get all hung up on all these details. Okay. I'm going to shut this thing down in a minute. I'll give everybody a last chance to ask a question. The group, I'm going to make a couple of documents available. This is a SMART goal worksheet I'm going to provide. There's a cookbook document I'm going to provide, which we'll talk about more. It's basically a way to keep track of your activity so you can see the areas you're weak. Like if you're calling a business owner, if you're doing a 30-second commercial, if you're this, like where are you breaking down the process? Like if you do, like I'll give you an example. Somebody sent me a message and they said they did 100 audits and they only talked to 6 business owners. There's a disconnect. There's a reason why. It was Connor, actually. He actually said it earlier today. And I said, listen, the problem is you're not following up with those people. When you do an audit, you got to follow up with them relentlessly for at least a few times to see if they respond. Okay? So you got the solution to people's problems. People are just like you and I. Don't be intimidated by people. They need what you have to offer. You could change their life with that phone call. Okay, I'm not kidding. It's not a sales pitch. Like, seriously. My clients are like, thank you so much. I so appreciate everything you're doing for me. You know. So, any last minute questions? Anybody?
Yeah, so this guy at my gym, the guy, he's the real estate broker guy. He's a friend of mine, so I like kind of told him straight up. I told him more on a personal level. It wasn't really much of a sales pitch. I said, look, I'm new to this kind of thing. I want to use you as my guinea pig, essentially is what I said to him. And he's totally cool with it. He's totally down. He's a really cool guy. And basically, kind of what I said to him, I'm like, well, we're gonna talk and have lunch and talk about it further. But someone who's a broker, well, first off, am I breaching any laws by working with someone like a licensed broker? Is there any? No, there's nothing like that. I was just curious about that.
No.
And do you have any experience working with any brokers? And I mean, I'm not sure if this is the right question to ask on this cast, but do you have any experience working with a broker, you or Brandon, or any tips that you could give me? Like,
we all have, yeah. Look, you know, the one thing I'll say about brokers or real estate agents is Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com, etc. They're big companies, and everyone's like, "Oh, you can't outrank them." Bull. Brandon's outranked them. You know, I've outranked them. So it's like people would rather click on a local business than a franchise or a big business. Okay, so don't worry about that.
So he works for an agency already, but my kind of idea was, well, I'm like, what about like a personal page, like a professional page that connects, you know, you say you work for whatever this company is, but this is your personal page. And then essentially what I pitched to him was, my goal for you would be to get whichever keywords, cities that you want to dominate in. He said there's about 3 or 4. And I was like, okay, well, I'll make content based on those cities. And essentially what my goal is get you on the face of Google, right? Get you on the top page. Because he was telling me he only averages like 1 call a month. And his method of getting leads are going to, you know, he meets people at open houses, and he goes to lots of shows. So a lot of it's face-to-face interaction and stuff like that, right? So it doesn't sound like he gets a lot on the phone.
Hey, Morgan?
Like, people don't know.
Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's take that one into the group, or we'll take it offline. I don't want to eat up everybody's time.
Okay.
It's a good question. I mean, you know, put it in the accountability group. Like, well, the accountability group is we're going to cover some sales stuff. We'll cover like the meat of it. How granular we get. I want to save success stories and SEO questions and other stuff for the main group. Okay, so we'll just find that balance. All you guys that are new, remember this one thing: don't tell somebody something if you don't know the honest answer. Tell people, hey, you know what? That's a good question. I'm not sure the answer. I'll get you the answer. Save yourself the trouble of trying to impress people. Be honest. Be transparent. Say, hey, you know what? That's a question I actually haven't heard before. So let me talk to my colleagues. You know, we'll talk about it. And is it cool if I get back to you tomorrow? So be careful. Like, always be honest. Always be transparent. Each one of you is going to be a farmer. You're sowing seeds, okay? The harvest will come up down the road, but you got to plant good seeds, okay? What kind of farmer plants seeds who doesn't think the harvest is coming? A stupid farmer, okay? If you plant enough seeds, if you give people enough value, if you don't sell people, if you value yourself and realize what you got your hands on and who you're talking to, okay? You're planting good seeds, the harvest will come up. Control your attitude, your actions, do the right work with the right attitude. There's no way you can lose, except if you quit, okay? Failure is not the opposite of success, it's the complement to success. Embrace it. You're fine as long as you don't quit. That's the bottom line, all right? So I'm gonna shut it down. It's quiet. Yeah. I would apologize for going longer, but I won't, because Our intention is to help people. And if this can help one more person get out of their own way, then I'm going to invest the time to do it. All right. I'm active in the group every day. I jump in 2-3 times a day. I mean, I'm here to keep Facebook closed on my when I'm working or whatever, because it's so easy to get pulled into this stuff. But I will be in there. Keep the accountability group for, specific things to accountability. Any SEO or technical things for general sales ideas, try to keep in the main group. There's other people outside of Brandon and I that know what they're doing too, that can offer you insight. Just be careful who you listen to. There could be other newer students who might have good intentions, but they have no fruit on the tree. Use your common sense and check, be a fruit inspector, okay? Check the fruit on the tree and see if they actually, they're doing what they say they're doing, okay? So guys, I'm gonna shut it down. I appreciate you guys being on here. This thing is gonna run through the month of March. We are available for whatever you need. If you need to PM me, you're welcome to do that. I'll do my very best to get back to you. I will put the recording of this call and the other documents in the feed of this group. And if you have questions about everything that I'm sharing, please ask in the group. Cool?
Yeah.
So I'm going to shut it down. Have yourselves a great night. Take some downtime. Like, seriously, take some downtime this weekend. You need, gather your thoughts. We've talked about a lot tonight. Your life's about to change, all right? Just think about it this way. In the next 3 to 6 months, you could be financially independent, owning your schedule, helping your family, helping your parents, travel, do whatever. I'm telling you, that's what you got to visualize. It's right there. You just got to, take action behind it. You got the tools. It's up to you to take advantage of them. All right, guys, I'm shutting up, man. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
We love you. Have a good night.